Is XDefiant dead? Let's talk about it. I feel like this is a big question that's popping up within the XDefiant community, where there's this narrative that the game is dying or currently it is dead. I mean, you don't see a lot of people talking about it. You don't see a lot of streamers, YouTube videos on it, because 2 months ago it definitely was once hyped. It was definitely hyped up, and I was definitely one of those people that were hyped about it, were hyped of where it could go. A lot of people were calling it the Call of Duty killer at the time. This is the next big game, which I mean it definitely can be. I don't think nobody's expecting this to become relevant for a long period of time. It's just nowadays it's just not possible for games in general to become relevant for a long time. There's still ones that are sticking around, like Rainbow Six, Call of Duty. Nowadays there's been many games that come up very hyped for like a month, a few weeks maybe, and then they just fall off. But for this video, I wanted to talk about maybe some of the issues that are causing these things to happen for this type of game. And I know it's a new game, they have a lot of stuff to work out. But let's get into it. For the beginning of this game's lifespan, it had many issues, obviously, such as the hit reg, the net code, the desync, dying behind corners. I have a lot of clips where I've died behind corners. Like, shit was ridiculous, right? So at the time, that probably threw a lot of players away in general. And then when the update came in, that brought some people back, but then I don't think it brought enough people back. And that'll continue going into season 1, and we'll talk about that. Then as a preseason, it was like, a simple battle pass, but it was a good one. I would say the preseason battle pass was definitely better than the current one that, is in game right now for season 1. I just don't think they're quite handling season 1 the best, and maybe they take the feedback in and they make season 2 probably even better. The content of this game, it definitely dropped off a lot. Like for season 1, all they did was pretty much just add 3 weapons and a map every month and a faction group. That's not really all the content you want to put in to keep a lot of players coming to the game. However, what they could be doing is just trying to get like a loyal fan base, and then going to be trying to reel in new players maybe later on. There's not really a lot to grind for in this game right now. I mean, you could camos is one thing, but like camo, after a while, using the same weapon, in my experience, using the same weapon really got repetitive, and like I started to hate the weapon after a while. Using the M4 for, at the time it was 100 levels. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. And now they've pushed it up to 200, now 300 and 400 for the new camos that have come out, which do look nice. I would say they do look nice, and maybe some of the game modes not really feeling like you're gaining a whole bunch of XP. Like, to be honest, you're better off just playing team deathmatch at this point. Like team deathmatch, you just get the kills. If that's what the weapon XP is, you just get the kills and keep it pushing. All this objective score, all this objective time, it's not doing nothing for the weapon, and there's no point in playing those specific game modes when you have just team deathmatch. You just go in, have a good time, and then level up your weapon that way. I don't know. But then we have the battle pass, like I mentioned, and I was one of the ones that when the game had updated, when season 1 had launched, I went straight to the battle pass because I really enjoyed the first one. I even went out of my way to buy it. But when I loaded up the game when season 1 dropped and I looked at the battle pass, I'm like, what is going on? The same character from the cleaners has, the maxed out skin. There wasn't much to take people in and be like, oh, I gotta buy this battle pass. It just wasn't like that this time around. Then we get into the map rotation, and it's pretty much the same maps. You know, when season 1 dropped, they announced 3 maps, but they're gonna be releasing a map every month. I don't feel like that's the best way to release content, because I feel like they would expect people just to come back to the game when a map dropped. Then we get into the new faction where, you know, I was excited for, because, you know, I played a lot of Rainbow in the past years, but I was excited to see, especially the trophy system, because Jesus, they were just throwing them bitches across the map. And then they just added another shield and then some barbed wire, which is cool. I mean, but it doesn't take away from a lot of the spam that's being used in the game, which probably makes it not enjoyable for a lot of players. And yeah, as we talk about, maybe 6 fucking spider bots on the team, the ping bitch. Then we have a lot of the different ultimates in the game, or ultras. But personally, the most annoying is the cloak. Like, to me, like, if you use a cloak, bro, you're a bitch. Other than that, I mean, that's really all XDefiant is right now. I mean, and I feel like a lot of the spam with all the different operators and you know, specialist abilities and all that other stuff is just not really helping. But it is a part of the game. It makes it unique, rather than Call of Duty where it's just, you just go in. So something like XDefiant is definitely unique. Which then we get into the question, is XDefiant dead? I don't think it is dead. It's not really talked about currently, and I just hope that, you know, they bring a lot of the more cool stuff that they've been talking about, because they've been talking about a lot of like cool things, party modes. I feel like there should be, you know, something to grind for that doesn't quite get repetitive. I think the ranked playlist is messed up right now, which that would be the only other thing to grind for, but it's just not working properly, and people are leaving in mid game, or you're not getting full lobbies, and yeah, it's just not a fun experience. A lot of the players are coming from Call of Duty to kind of find a breath of fresh air, but then they get into a game with all this spam. However, this game has been only out for 2 months, so they have a lot to work on. They have a lot to improve, and, you know, hopefully they get to that point. And, you know, a lot of people coming from Call of Duty are coming to XDefiant with no skill-based matchmaking, and have been playing Call of Duty for years, and they have the skill-based matchmaking, and then, you know, they find out, you know, maybe they're not that good. Maybe they've been saved by the skill-based matchmaking. The biggest reason why a lot of players probably stop playing the game is because there's a lot of sweats. I mean, people are just better at games than they were 10 years ago. They get into a game where it's like they're playing, and then they see somebody on the other team like hopping around, doing some air strafes and all that other shit. That shit was annoying to me. Like, this is literally what I saw when I first started playing the game. Like, that's literally what you would see. And bro, they made me join them. I was like, how the fuck do you do that? I want to do that. If it made me do it, then I know it made a lot of people do it, because there was a lot of people spam jumping. They had to nerf it. They had to sit there and nerf and make a penalty for doing it, because, yeah, I mean, it was stupid. You always see on Twitter where it's like people talking about XDefiant needs a battle royale. Don't bring that shit. Do not bring that shit to this game, please. We do not need another battle royale. I swear to God. But yeah, that's pretty much all I really have for today. Let me know what you guys think.